Welcome to Yakima Southwest Rotary, the most awesomest club in the world. Okay, we have Bob Knudsen with invocation. Bob?
Thank you. Let us pray. Today we pray that we receive God's special blessing because we are committed to be a real service organization to help humankind. May each of us in our daily routine come to know the joy of caring and sharing with others not as fortunate as we. May our motto that includes serving, caring, and sharing be for us life in service. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Bob. I've got Aaron for introduction of guests.
Let's see. For guests today, we have Nicole Britt, who brought Val Perry. This is Val Perry. She works for Moss Adams. She's a partner there at Moss Adams. She's my friend. Thank you for coming, Val. We have Rob Paul, who is a guest of Chris Corey. Where is he? And Sergio Bautista, who is a guest of Richard Perez. And then Curtis Sunquist has a guest, is that correct?
My wife Mary is here.
Oh, welcome, Mary. And then we also have Kyle Rasmussen and Mark Cisneros.
Welcome.
Thank you, Aaron. All right, club announcements. Did everybody see the newsletter, the bulletin? Okay, we're live. We got Brock in the back. He's helping us. Just make sure we don't have any hitches today. So thank you, Brock, for being here. In the future for meetings, if you go to our webpage, there's a live button. Yeah, the link I sent wasn't the live link in the email, embedded in the email that I sent out. So you got to go to the website and use the YouTube live link to watch us going forward. So I'm going to make announcements kind of short and sweet. We had Friendsgiving tailgate. We had a giant table set up. Thank you, Jacob Butler and the social committee for putting that together. It was pretty spectacular. Great time, good fun. So great job. New member proposals. The board approved Kathleen Wilmes of Edward Jones, proposed by Taylor Stormo, and Jeanette Heron of the Yakima Country Club, proposed by Tressa Mercy. And then just a notice, kind of see you later, but not goodbye. Jim Black and Vicky are going to be moving to White Salmon. And he's been an honorary member in a long time. They've both been members of this club. So they're moving on. So we wish them well. I think they had moving trucks today. Is that right, Ryan? Yeah. Yep, serving in White Salmon. So I got a lot of announcements, but if you just look, so we hit some of these a little bit earlier. So Craig Myers, 5 years. Raul, there's your 3 years because you weren't here the last time I made the announcement. Kim and Brian at 2 years. Cody McDonald at 10. Tressa Mercy at 22. So Kathy Backstrom at 15. Mark Young at 8. So Frank, did I see Frank? Is Frank here? Thank you, Frank. 6 years of service. Good, thank you. All right. With birthdays, and probably still off celebrating her birthday, it sounds like. Steve Altick, happy birthday. Jill Falk, they're not with us today. Justy St. John, happy birthday coming up. A lot of 17th birthdays. And then Josh has got I know he's been planning his birthday for months. I think they're going to the Coup game, so. All right. Okay, so Dick Johnson Memorial Blood Drive is coming up. It's the 29th. We still have 16 slots. So if you're on the fence, get off the fence. If you do anything on the day of your blood giving, make sure you have lunch. I didn't do that, and I almost passed out. So have lunch. But we need people to really get signed up for this. We're going to do these quarterly. So if you miss this quarter, we can catch you next quarter. Okay. So do get online and get signed up if you intend to do that. We have Give Back, Give Warmth is December 10th. We're doing it. We are able blankets, fleece material to buy more material than we've ever bought before. We're moving it to a venue at the Latter-day Saints Church on 44th in Inglewood. They're opening up. They got tables. They got the space. So it's going to be at that new location from 9 a.m. to noon, and that's on December 10th. If you can cut and tie a blanket, you can participate. And it's good for, I'd say, ages like 8, 10, and up for kids, so you can bring your kids to this event as well. It's a good time. We're going to make... At this event, we'll probably make at least 100 blankets. Total, we have enough material to do 210 blankets. So, and we distribute those to some to Rod's House, Union Gospel Mission, Camp Hope. So just to name a few. Okay, and then I've got Kyle. If you want to come up, Kyle, and just share real quick. They've got a fundraiser with Rotaract. Kyle's the Rotaract president.
Thank you, Dirk. First, we wanted to say thank you to Southwest Rotary for sponsoring us to help us attend the Big West Rotary Conference in Salt Lake City this past weekend. I know Mark and I really enjoyed it. We got a lot out of it, met a lot of great people, and learned a lot, and we're excited to bring that back with us. But getting to the Seahawks party, so this is our big fundraiser of the year. This is our 8th annual Seahawks party. It's at Sports Center, which it's a great location. We had it there last year in the side game room there. It's going to be December 15th. The Seahawks are taking on the 49ers, which could end up being a really good matchup with where the Seahawks are at right now. It's $30 for entrance, $8 after halftime. The doors open at 4:30, and then kickoff is around 5:15. We will have a silent auction, probably have 15 items or so. We have a big item this year that was presented to us. We actually have a safari in Africa that is being auctioned off. So that should be a huge item. It sounds like a really great deal. I believe it's five days of hunting in South Africa. And you can kind of mix and match to whatever you want to hunt. So that could be a really fun trip. I will send Dirk the link. You can sign up or get tickets on Eventbrite. There's a link for that, or you can get tickets at the door. And yeah, should be a great event.
Thank you. Thanks, Kyle. We've put that link is in our email that goes out each week. And then Josh, if you want to come up real quick, he's got an announcement for Camp Primetime.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Next week, Camp Primetime in the Greenway are having our annual turkey trot. Registration starts at 8, and we will actually be getting the race going around 9. This year, we decided to do something different. And actually have a little competition going on between all the Rotary clubs. So winner of the Turkey Trot Trophy is the club with the most participation. So please come out and support Camp Primetime in the Greenway, and also win the trophy for Southwest. So, let's do this, right? So other than that, so what? Yep. So the most members that come out to participate will win the trophy. So, and this year is also pretty cool. We are having the first turkey ever pardoned in Yakima history. So that will be really cool to see too. So it will be a great event. So come on out. I wish I could stay for questions, but I actually have to head out. So there's flyers up here and on the table. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to us via email. So perfect. Cool.
Thank you, Josh. All right, I think we got through it. Angie, you want to do an announcement about, do you want me to talk about? Go ahead. Yeah, please. Yakima School District.
So there are 75 kids that we need to sign up for. I think we are a little over halfway there. I believe there was like 34 slots left last time I counted. So if you haven't signed up, please do. Those will be delivered sometime the week of, probably around the 14th or 15th of December. So we're asking for those by the 13th, I believe, and then these will be delivered down to Casimir Bank on
Second half. Okay. Thank you. So get those to Kashmir Valley Bank on 2nd Ave by December 13th. We still got about 4 more spots to go. Great. Tom with Sergeant of Arms.
Thank you, President Dirk. So before we get started, Christine, what do we have in the raffle? $527. So, Mark, okay. Christina's going to pick the winning number. 439 of the last three. Tim Madden, 439. Okay. Okay, well, thanks anyway. And Happy Bucks. Who's got some Happy Bucks today? Dave?
Tom, I'll give a happy buck. I was really hoping that Jim or Jim End, if he could be here today, since they're moving the white salmon. I know they're really interested in joining the White Salmon Rotary Club, which sends out apparently like 3 outbound exchange students every year.
Really?
So they're very excited about that because that's been a big passion of theirs here. I also just love giving them a hard time every year. But for those of you who have been around a while, you'll remember that Jim was like the primary person pushing the bucket to make sure that we could get that pagoda building set up.
Yeah, sure, down at the... Yeah.
In 2002, 2003, somewhere there. It's really a cool landmark. I think it's a great capital project that we've done for this club. And we're going to miss them. They're not here, so it doesn't matter, but here's my dollar anyways.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. Dirk, do you have a 5 Happy Bucks?
I got Ann's not here, so I got to do $2 for the OG twins, Benji in the middle, Benji the buck in the middle, and then.
Well, don't give it to me. Give it to Frank. Frank, could you come to... Any other Happy Bucks? Dave.
Here's 3 happy bucks. Got a chance to go on a little Caribbean cruise. We were able to avoid turkey leash.
All right. Yeah, Frank, go ahead.
I got 20 happy bucks. So even though it looked like 6 years and how long I've been in the club, I was actually brought in this club about 30 years ago when I became a Young Life staff person. And I became a Young Life staff person because of what Young Life had done for me and just the leaders that put their lives into my life. And so one of those leaders is Jake Cup and his wife Carla, who changed my life, and I just, for all the kids that you did for Seal High School and all the lives you changed, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank and Jake. Joanne.
the Packers finally did it.
The Packers. Hey, that's right. I was surprised by that game myself, but David Rankin, I know he's got some Happy Bucks. I mean, come on. You didn't go to the game for the stunning defeat of the Oregon Ducks. That's right. Go ahead, Gene.
I have a happy buck, kind of dovetail off of Ryan with Jim and Vicky Black's move. Very happy for them to be able to make a move. They didn't want our club, but they're going to be closer to family, and I'm happy that that goes.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Gene. Other Happy Bucks. Okay, Kathy. What did they do? Oh, the Packers won a game? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well. Okay. Hank? Oh, is that right? And remind them who that is. God, I didn't know you went to Georgia. I thought you were from New Jersey. Bill. Yeah, thanks, Jacob, for putting that together. Nice job. Nice job. Okay, Marilyn?
I have a happy $3 for, actually it's kind of a shameless plug, happy buck, but Josh Munson's birthday coming up. He has a fundraiser to benefit the Children's Health Campaign to expand Children's Village. So if you're a friend of, or just go to Josh's website, you can see he's trying to raise money in honor of his birthday. And so you can pray for anybody to go for his birthday.
All right. Yeah. What's your birthday? The 29th? 29th of November. So Josh has got his own website. Who knew? Who knew? Okay, I got to get one of those. Anybody else? Okay. Cougs are bowl eligible. That's right. Good for them. Shameless plugs.
I have an announcement, but not really a shameless plug. Community Service Committee this year accepted a proposal for us to be DECA judges. So some of you have judged in the past. Now that COVID's over, we're expecting 300-400 students at the convention center. So there's a letter on your table. I'll have it there every week. You can, if you'd like to judge in the morning, there's a time you can contact Casey Benjamin in CLM. He organizes the judges. If you're already on his list for the past, you'll be contacted. But this will count as community service for us. If you are interested in being a vendor, you are working for an organization that students would benefit from your information, you can contact Mr. Robinson at West Valley. And we are looking for workshop presenters. So again, 300-400 business and marketing students who are looking at careers in finance, travel, tourism, business administration, and hospitality services. If you work in one of those fields and would like to talk to students, we have some workshop opportunities. So either you can find me in the Rotary book or contact the two gentlemen, my coworkers, who are in charge of those activities.
Okay, thank you, Stephanie. Luis.
What happens every 4 years? Anybody? The World Cup. The World Cup.
The World Cup. That's right. All right. Pretty much.
So the World Cup is happening, and Raul is featured in the World Cup. He is.
Is that right?
Make that goal. So anyway, the World Cup starts on Sunday, and my station is televising it, so 32.2 Sunday.
There you go. Thanks, Luis. Okay, I think we're done. Anyway, I want to get going on the program today, and we're fortunate to have Jake and Craig Cupp here to talk about their football careers, but also we're going to talk a little bit about Cooper. Questions about did you know about Cooper Cup? So we're going to start over here at Brittany's table, and the first question is, this is for $3. Okay, so Cooper started out as number 18 with the Rams, and then he switched to number 10 a few years later. Why? Oh, Rich doesn't know. All right. That's a $5 fine there, Rich, for piping up. And you have to just pay $1. Yeah, Rich, $5 fine. And okay, this guy, all right. All right, the rest of you people at Rich's table, could you keep them calm for a little while till I get to my next question? That's right. So, okay, we'll go to Dave's table. Okay, the next question. That's right. He played. He was number 18 or number 10 at Eastern. So, nice job, Rich. So here next question. What round of the 2017 NFL draft was Cooper drafted? What round was he drafted in? This is Dave and. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. What round was Cooper drafted in the 2017 draft? Sixth round? No. He was drafted in the 3rd round. He was drafted number 69 in the 3rd round, which turned out to be a great pick for the Rams. I guess we'll go back to Riley's table in the back. Okay, next question. At ESU, Cup racked up how many receiving yards in his 4-year career there? Now, this is, just try to get it close. How many receiving yards did Cooper Kupp rack up in his 4 years at Eastern? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. 1,200? Are you kidding? He did that in a season. Guess again. That's too low. 1,200 Canadian yards. No, come on. Got to be a little bit higher than that. How many yards? Okay, not close enough. 6,464 yards. That was more than any other college receiver at that level, which is amazing. Thinking about it. So, okay, so let's go to, I guess we'll go to Joe and Lynn, and Bill. Here we go. So the next question. In 2021, Cooper had the 2nd most receiving yards in a season in NFL history with 1,947 yards. What receiver holds the record for most yards in a season? Cooper is 2nd most ever. Who? It's Joe Arlington. No. No, it was Calvin Johnson in 1995, 1,964 yards. So, okay, I think we'll skip Rich's table since they're. No, we're not. Okay, Rich, here, let's see if you know this one. Okay, so how many receptions and touchdowns did Cooper have in Super Bowl 56? Yeah. How many receptions and touchdowns did Cooper have in Super Bowl 56? Well, you can be half right. So how many receptions did he have? I'll take, if you get one right. How many touchdowns did he have? Let's start out with that. In the Super Bowl? No, it was. It's just one game there, Angie. So. No. So how many? Oh, you mean 12 receptions? I'm sorry. We got their separate numbers. How many receptions? Okay, so 10. I don't know. How many receptions? 9 receptions. How many touchdowns? Okay. Well, the answer is he had 8 receptions and 2 touchdowns. So. Pretty close, but not quite. Thank you. Pretty good game, FYI. So we'll go over to, I guess we'll go to Raul's table. So after the game, Cooper was named Super Bowl MVP. How many previous receivers had received the Super Bowl MVP award in the past 56 years? How many previous receivers had received the Super Bowl MVP award in 56 years? Raul, come on, you're a World Cup guy. 0? Is that your guess? No, it was 7. There were 7 previous receivers. This is Jerry Rice, but once again, there were 7. So he is the 8th. Okay, so we'll go to Dave's table. Let's see, how many more? Okay, so anyway, so in 2021, Cooper had 178 receptions and 22 touchdowns for the Rams. Only one receiver in NFL history had more touchdowns in a year. Cooper had 22 last year. Who has the record for the most receiving touchdowns by a receiver? Who has the? Jerry Rice. Okay, no, it was actually Randy Moss had 23 touchdowns in 2007. So when he was playing for the New England Patriots. So okay, I think this is the last one. Okay, final question. Yeah, I think it's the last one. You guys together. Okay, so in this 2017 draft, Cooper was which receiver selected in the NFL draft? Was he the first receiver, second, third, fourth, fifth? Remember, he was drafted number 69 in the third round. How many receivers were selected ahead of him? How many receivers were selected ahead of him? How many? Okay. 22 receivers. He was 69th in the draft. So, okay. Well, 22 is a little high. It was 7. Or he was the 7th receiver selected. So I guess it was 6. I guess the way I posed the question was 6. So anyway, well, thank you very much for answering all those Cooper Cup questions wrong, except for Rich. Thank you, Rich. So, okay, thank you very much. So, I'm just going to go. You don't need to introduce me. I'm just going to go into the introduction. Okay, I got it. All right. Okay, well, speaking of Cooper Cup, his dad and his grandfather here with us today. They're going to be talking about football. Jake Cup, for those of you who know him or don't know him, he grew up in Sunnyside, Washington, graduated from Sunnyside High in 1959. He starred as a 3-sport athlete, football, basketball, and baseball, having a stellar football career and playing point guard for the Sunnyside High basketball team that placed 3rd in state in 1959. He earned a football scholarship from Jim Owens at the University of Washington, where he played tackle and tight end for 4 years after his redshirt year. While at the U, Jake was also a pitcher for the baseball team. In 1964, he was drafted in the 9th round by Tom Landry and the Dallas Cowboys. He went on to play 12 years in the NFL for the Cowboys, Redskins, Falcons, and Saints, most notably 9 years with the New Orleans Saints, where he was team captain and played in the 1970 Pro Bowl. Jake was named to the New Orleans Saints Hall of Fame in 1991 and later named to the 50-year All-New Orleans Saints team. Hollywood came a-callin' in the late 1960s when he played a part in the movie Number One with Charlton Heston. After football, Jake led several Yakima businesses, including Trail Wagons, Knoll Foods, and Quest International. He remains active in his local church, Grace of Christ, as well as helping out many community ministries who serve our city. The best part of Jake's experience was meeting his wife of 60 years, Carla, during his senior year. They went on to have 3 boys, Randy, Craig, and Kyle. Now, Craig hails from Sela High School class of 1985. His first love was sports, participating in football, basketball, and tennis. Following high school, Craig quarterbacked Pacific Lutheran University's football team under the leadership of legendary football coach Frosty Westering. Craig was inducted into the PLU Athletic Hall of Fame in 1995, along with his wife, is it Karen? Karen, who was an All-American soccer player. Upon graduating from PLU, Craig was drafted by the New York Giants in the 5th round of the 1990 NFL Draft. Craig went on to play for the Arizona Cardinals and Dallas Cowboys. Craig and Jake are the first father and son combo to play for the Cowboys. You can win some trivia money at the local bar with that one. Craig is currently the Northwest United States Regional Sales Manager for Quick Lock here in Yakima. He met his lovely bride, Karen, while at PLU, and they have 4 fantastic children, Cooper, Kettner, Kobe, and Katrina. So would you please give a warm Southwest Rotary welcome to Jake and Craig Cupp.
Thank you. Hey, well, thank you very much for having us out today. This is a great group. You guys have a relaxed atmosphere, makes it easy on us. So I know we just answered a bunch of questions, but I got a couple more trivia questions, but I got prizes. So you're not paying money, you're getting something. So here we go. Let's blow through these real quick. So this is football. You know, we're a football family, so these are football related. So if you're not a football fan, just bear with us. All right. This is Seattle Seahawks. Any Seahawks fans in the room? Okay. Got to be quick. Hey, and Dirk, help me if whoever just shouted out, first person that shouts it out wins. The Seattle Seahawks, first year in the NFL was 76. Very good. Payday. Here we go. All right. What was the other team that year, 1976, that came? Who was it? Is it?
She already won, Dave.
Is it Dave? All right. Kit Kat. All right. All right, here we go. Which NFL team is the only non-profit community-owned team? Green Bay. Who said that? All right. Snickers. Big time. Let's see, next one. Okay, think back in the 80s. What NFL team's offense was given the name Air Coryell? San Diego. Who said San Diego? All right. Oh, my favorite, the Crispy Country. Crispy Country. Crunchy. It's a very, very underrated candy bar. All right, last two. I got a couple T-shirts. Sizes might be a problem. We've got a medium and we got a 3X large. So we got PJs here. So if you win this one, it's probably going to be your PJs. All right. Okay, this is a good one. What team holds the record for most consecutive winning seasons? Dallas. Who said Dallas? All right. Very good. 3X or medium? Medium? All right. Last one for the 3X. How many years was Cooper a first-team All-American selection at Eastern Washington University? 4. Who said 4? Oh, hey, Liberty. You got some PJs. Congratulations. All right. Hey, well, thanks again for having us out today. We, as our family, we get asked a lot about Cooper and what was it like when he was a little kid and growing up and those types of things. And he had a dream of being a professional football player when he was real young. It kind of crystallized when he was an 8th grader, but he wanted to be a professional football player from a young age. So what we thought we would do is we take you through the progression of what it took to get him to the professional level. And we'll walk through some of the younger years, and I just want you to pay attention to the ups and the downs. And we chose this topic, the ups and the downs of football, related to the ups and downs in life. And I'm not sure if you've heard the news, but it was just announced today that Cooper's got to have surgery, got hurt. He's got to have surgery on his ankle and is going to be out 4 to 8 weeks, might miss the rest of the season. So it's kind of a appropriate topic for today.
So we want to start off when he was really, really young. And one of his highs was that when he was like 2 or 3 years old, we knew that athletics was going to be a part of his life. I've got a picture here of myself and Cooper. We're getting ready to go to a baseball game, and the excitement that he had, but I think I was probably more excited. It was probably more of an up for me as a grandfather. But this was a picture of us getting ready to go to his first baseball game here in Yakima.
So lots of time with grandparents growing up, and my folks and my wife's folks were big influences on his life and all of our kids' lives. A lot of typical question that comes up: did you push him into football? My dad played, I played, so people think that we just kicked him into his first team, and that's not true. He was. How it happened is we were actually at a baseball game for his brother, who was playing coach pitch and was scared to death to go in the game that day for some reason. But anyway, we're watching the game. We kind of lost track of Coop, and at the end of the game, we looked around. He's gone, and he had found the 49ers grid kid team that was practicing on an adjacent field. And so he just kind of was interested, jumped in practice, and that's how he started his grid kid career. He had a lot of success when he was little. He was the same size as everybody and got off to a great start, but that would change a little bit later.
One of his sports that he first got into was basketball. This was when he was 5 years old at the YMCA. And we're not too competitive, our family, but at the YMCA, they don't keep score, at that age. We were keeping score. Cooper team scored 41 points. He scored 38 of them. During the game, Craig, near the end of the game, started yelling, "Cooper, pass it off," because he was making every shot. I said, "Craig, what are you talking about? Let him shoot." Because we were both basketball players, but we were never high scorers. So finally, we thought we had a high scorer coming up.
It was kind of sad. The next game, he didn't score very many points, but after the game, he came out and said, "Dad, how many passes did I have?" So I just kicking myself in the head for my direction. All right, so now junior high. So he moves into junior high, and both my dad and I, we grew late. We were skinny and small, and then it wasn't until late in high school that we grew and got some size and was able to put on a little bit of weight. And the same thing happened with Cooper. So those junior high years are tough. Where some guys are getting mustaches and muscles and their man bodies. He just he didn't have it, and so his freshman year he went. They weighed in for football. He had long pants on, which they probably shouldn't let you weigh in with long pants on anyway. He weighed 115 pounds, and about 10 pounds of that was ankle weights that he had strapped to his feet. So. Because that's what he did, because he knew he had to get stronger, so he just took it on himself, and he wore ankle weights everywhere that he went. Let's see. So what we had to do is, and those were tough years, is he's trying to compete, he's trying to keep up, he's trying to excel, and he's getting his butt kicked a lot, and whether it was baseball or football, and he had some success and was playing at an elite level, but it was very difficult. And so we just had to always talk to him about focusing that his body would come. I said, "Look at your grandpa, look at me, I've got some size." His mom's pretty muscular person, was an athlete. And I said, "Your body's going to come. Your job right now is just to focus on fundamentals. If that's where you want to go, if that's your dream and that's what you want to do, just focus on your fundamentals. Your body will come and you'll leapfrog the competition." And he kind of took that to heart. And it kind of worked out that way.
Well, when he got to high school, it was kind of an up and down time. And as we look around the room and you kind of look at your own career, I know all of us have gone through adversity. We've gone through hard times. We've gone through good times. And what we would like to try to comment on is really the ability to celebrate the good times and yet to kind of embrace the times that are tough. That you really have to push to get through. And his high school career was kind of like that. When he first started his freshman year and sophomore year, he was very, very small. And then as he grew, his junior year and senior year were really quite successful. In his senior year in basketball, his team went to state and took number 1 in state, which was just a fantastic experience for our family. He had 2 good years of football. but he still didn't have a lot of size, and so he was still pushing through. And we'll never forget, in the last game, he still had not received a scholarship to any of the colleges. And he had always dreamed about going to Southern Cal. And you can imagine what it was like for him walking off the field thinking, this may be the last time I ever wear pads again. And yet, it didn't happen that way. He kept pursuing, and he got an offer from Eastern Washington to come on as a walk-on. And a little bit after that, Idaho State came back and said, we'll give you a full scholarship. And then Eastern came back and said, we'll match it. And so that's how he got into into college.
And our society is big into instant gratification, and there's a lot of kids that will, get a scholarship and go play, and they want to play right away. And there's nothing wrong with that. But in a lot of cases, it's the best case is to redshirt a year. And redshirt, for those who don't know, you sit for a year. It's not counted against your eligibility. You sit, you train, you are on the scout team, you help the starters out, and you develop your own skills for a year before you're actually on the playing roster. And so that's what he did. He redshirted for a year. And instead of taking that year off, he really used that year to hone his skills, to work extra with the receiving coach, and he put in the work that launched his career. And one of the trivia questions was 4 years of being a first-team All-American selection, and that's just unheard of for somebody to do something like that. But that was a result of the work that he had put in previous to getting to Eastern, and then that year. That redshirt year. So just a testimony to the work ethic that he put in.
I forgot to say, when he was in high school, his nickname was the Biz. He was always about business, always had his nose to the grindstone, encouraging his teammates. I remember on their state championship run, near the end of the season, a lot of the guys were getting kind of tired of practicing and stuff like that, and he was there encouraging them, saying, we got to stay with it, we got to go through it. And that was the drive that he's had all of these years. When he got to the NFL, going from college to the NFL is a big step. He established himself right away in his first year as a rookie for the Rams. He became their leading receiver on the team, and that was in 2017. Then in 2018, he got off to another great start, but midway through the season against the Seahawks, he blew out his knee and lost it. But the thing that he did when he blew out his knee, he said, I'm coming back, and I'm going to be better than I was before. And he was. I can't tell you the determination and the work that he put in, getting through and rehabbing that knee, and then coming back and playing. And then 3 years later, he ended up being the most valuable player in the Super Bowl. We'd like to kind of show you an interview that he had right after the game, and he talks about this pursuit of becoming who he was. And so, Dirk, if you'll kind of play that.
Is it the first one? It's
Yeah.
The vision one. There you go.
Evan. This is going to be interesting, guys.
Cooper, I know you don't really like talking about yourself, but the moment after you won Super Bowl MVP, what was just going through your head of basically just your entire career, no offers, 0-star recruit, everything?
I wasn't really where my mind was. I was just looking at my family, looking at my wife, my boys coming out here, everything they've sacrificed, that they've been through with me, that they've encouraged me through. My wife's been with me since senior year in high school. She's been through all of it. She's seen it all. She knows the sacrifices because she's lived the sacrifices herself as well. I was just it was so amazing being able to see them while I was up on that podium. There was in 2019 walked off the field that last time after losing to the Patriots. I wasn't able to be a part of that thing. But I don't know what it was. There's just this vision that God revealed to me that we were going to come back. We were going to be a part of a Super Bowl. We were going to win it. And somehow I was going to walk off the field as the MVP of the game. And I shared that with my wife because I couldn't tell anyone else, obviously, what that was. But from the moment this postseason started, there was just a belief. Every game, it was written already. It was written already, and I just got to play free, knowing that, I got to play from victory, not for victory. I got to play in a place where I was validated, not from anything that happened on the field, but because of my worth in God and my Father. And I'm just so incredibly thankful. In that moment you're talking about, I just felt like I was just so undeserving of what that was in that moment, because it was, the people that I've been able to play with, the people that I've been around, the players that I get to play with, that come into work with every single day, the coaches that I get to work with, to collaborate with. It's just been the perfect team, the perfect setup. I'm just so thankful for everyone that's been around me. It was, it really, I don't know if it still really hasn't hit me.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe.
Yeah, so that's little Cypress that was right there. He's going to be a little monster, I think. So, well, I think in that interview, what a gift to have a vision like that. So he was referring to walking off the field in the Super Bowl in 2019, the year that he was hurt. They lost that game, as he said. But what a gift for him to look back on the field. I asked him, what did it look like? He said, well, I was walking off. I just looked back, and it was God told me that we were going to be back, and we were going to win, and I was going to be the MVP. He said it was the strangest feeling. I kind of get chills just talking about it. And what he talks about is having that gift and being able to play in victory, not for victory, and the freedom that gives you. When you have that mentality, the freedom that it gives you to be able to be your best, to use your potential, to maximize the potential that you've got. And so I want to show, there's a couple more videos that I want to show. So this next video that we're going to show is in the Super Bowl that just happened just this last February. And it kind of demonstrates the of playing with freedom and just being able to go out almost like you're playing in the backyard and doing your best. So this is a play, critical third down. I want you to look at this dude right here, number 24. He's going to be sitting right in the place where that ball is going to go, but he's jumping the tight end that's doing a little curl route right here, number 80. Coop's coming in behind him. 24 takes too many steps, and they throw in right behind him. And so how'd that happen? So let's look at the next video. This next video is going to give you the view looking back at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford. And I want you to look at his head when he throws this thing. So there's 24, Von Bell. He's the guy we were just looking at. He's going to move this way. Look at Matthew's head. Can you imagine trying to do that on the biggest stage in the world? You're throwing a no-look pass to a quarterback or to a receiver, and Coop's just trusting him coming behind that behind his tight end. And Matthew's throwing a no-looker. So anyway, it's just really kind of awesome that the two of them can work like that. And again, just it's the biggest stage, but they're playing out like it's just in the backyard. What's that?
How did you find out that he was looking that way? Did he tell you?
Oh yeah. After the game, it's always fun to talk with Cooper after a game. You get the little insights and the nuances and stuff like that, and so he talked about this, and Matthew was mic'd up during the game, and he talks about, he goes, I think that was our best no-looker of the year. And it certainly was.
Yes, I think they threw, maybe 4 or 5 no-lookers during the season. But as Craig said, Matthew was mic'd up and said that had to be our best one. Well, this is kind of a sad week for us. We were at the game in L.A. This past Sunday, and it was a tough game to watch. Matthew Stafford, our quarterback, was out in concussion protocol, and we've lost all of our offensive linemen. We only have one offensive lineman that is still playing. The other 4 have gotten hurt, and most of them are out for the rest of the season. And your offensive line is kind of the foundation, of your team. You can't run the ball without a good offensive line, and you can't pass the ball because you can't protect the quarterback. And I think we've got a couple pictures that would like to show you just of what Matthew Stafford has been through this year. This is against Tampa Bay, and you can see he's getting crushed. Looks like he's getting crushed not only by a Tampa Bay player, but by his own players. There's another one. I mean, these are painful hits. This is against the 49ers.
Is there a San Francisco fan in here?
Anyway, this is the adversity that the team is up against this year. Losing their offensive line, had a lot of injuries, and it's tough. And what do you do in a situation like that? You can throw your hands up in the air and say, "Hey, I quit. It's over." And how many of us have been through that in our lives, where, we, with our families or with our businesses or whatever, it just seems like sometimes it's just impossible. But the great thing about this life is that's the way life is, that we have our ups and downs. And it seems like sometimes we have more downs than we have ups. But I think the main thing to do, as I said earlier, is to celebrate the ups, to really enjoy it when there is something that happens and you can really celebrate that event or whatever took place. But also when it comes to adversity, is that we just don't throw our hands up and say, "Hey, this is it. I can't take any more." But that's where we have the opportunity to really grow the most. I'd like you just to think, each one of you, just thinking back on your careers of, tough times that you've been through, that we've all been through that. Well, the Rams are now at a very difficult time. Cooper's at a difficult time. He's going to have surgery, I think, in the next couple days on his ankle, and he's going to have to go through another rehabilitation. And I'm sure that his attitude is going to be, I'm going to come back better than I was before. And with the type of surgery that they're doing, that can happen. What they're going to be doing is he had a high ankle sprain, and what they can do is they can tighten up that ankle, and they put an artificial, what they call rope, in. Instead of using ligaments to try to do it, they tie that ankle together so that it can be stronger than it was before. So he has to kind of embrace that, to look forward to, hey, this isn't the end. This is just the beginning of a new opportunity in my life. And that's what we want to leave all of you with, is maybe some of you are going through difficult times right now. And if you are, just, hey, look, I don't know how this is going to end up, but I'm just going to keep trying and looking up. And when I say looking up, our family, we are a family of faith, family, and football. And we put our faith first. And that's where our strength really comes from. And I know that's where Cooper's strength comes from, knowing that he has a relationship with a God that has a special plan for him in his life. And all of us have that special plan. God says, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And I think each one of us needs to hold on to that and just say, hey, I'm going through a difficult time right now, or I'm going through a good time, but whatever it is, I'm going to keep my eyes on God and go forward. Thank you. Oh, we did want to end. I don't know if we have a little time. If you have any questions you'd like to ask us, and I'm going to hand the mic back to Craig.
Greg, you had a very successful career at BLU, so there must have been some time that you as a quarterback were throwing the ball to Cooper. So how did that play out when you were, and maybe in regards to his success?
Oh, you know, it wasn't, because I've been asked that question before, what kind of training did you go through? And we don't look at it as training. We would watch, so our typical day, Sunday, is we would come home from church, toasted cheese sandwiches, tomato soup, blah, 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 watch a game, and we couldn't sit through the whole second, the afternoon game. We'd have to go down to Franklin Park and we'd throw routes. And so that, that's just what we did. We had a little deal in the backyard where we pulled out a hose, and they would have to, tap your toes, in the back of the end zone. We would simulate that, and but it was fun stuff. That's just what we enjoyed doing, and yeah, I love that. That's good times, good memories for me. Yeah, 5. Yeah, 5 right now. Oh.
Matthew family, I think.
Yeah, Bruce Matthews. That's the only one that I.
Well, because he's another Georgia graduate.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I always saw pictures with Cooper at the Manning camp. Did that just go back to old ties, or where did the tie-in with the Manning camp come in?
Archie and I were roommates when we both played for New Orleans Saints. And when we put together the Manning Passing Academy, we just knew we had to go. And that's where Cooper developed a relationship with Peyton. And Peyton really helped him prepare for what he needed to do to get into the NFL.
And that was really fun. He was first a camper, and then when he went to college, he went back as a counselor, and Peyton would pull him aside, and because they would put on this big show for the city one of the nights, and he wanted Cooper to be his receiver, at a young age. So that was really, what a great thrill for him and for our family to be able to see that. Yeah.
What's the timeline for you talking Cooper into coming up and play for the Hawks?
Yeah. 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 You never say never. Who knows? But we'll see. Anybody else? Yeah. Hey, well, thank you very much for having us today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Craig and Jake. Cool to hear the story about Cooper and about your guys' careers and the message that you shared about life's ups and downs. And I like to say life never stops happening, So this is, you guys can fight over these, which one you want, but we've got some candles for you guys as a thank you gifts. Yeah. So I'd like to thank Aaron for being our greeter and introduction to guests, Tom for your sergeant at arms, Bob for your invocation, and then no meeting next week. We'll be back on the 29th. And with that, our meeting is adjourned.